Welcome to the National World War II Museum here in New Orleans, Louisiana. Formerly the D-Day Museum, this museum's purpose is to educate the general public about World War II and the history behind it. Come along with me and let's explore the history of World War II.
I am in a Sherman tank, one of the many macro artifacts here in the National World War II Museum. It is just a part of the story of World War II and this museum.
This museum it was originally conceived by Stephen Ambrose as the National D-Day Museum. We thought that was a pretty big undertaking for a couple of history professors. So Steve said, let's build a small museum, honor Andy Higgins from New Orleans, who built those boats, who Eisenhower said won the war for us. So we opened in 2000, June 6, on D-Day, as the National D-Day Museum.
Shortly after opening, several prominent congressmen visited the museum and decided there was a bigger story to tell, and that Congress should fund the master plan and expansion on this site.
Then Congress officially changed our name and gave us a new mission as the National World War II Museum.
You may be asking yourself, well, what is there to see here at this museum? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can see anything from land vehicles, sea vessels, and aircraft such as the British Spitfire and the American C-47.
Visitors to the National World War II Museum can expect to see a comprehensive overview of America's involvement in the war that changed the world.
The galleries are divided pretty much in a self-guided tour kind of format. We start off with the beginning of the war with Pearl Harbor, of course, which is what got us involved. Then there's a section on the home front that describes how it wasn't just soldiers, that every American in the country was involved in some way in supporting the war effort.
In the galleries, you'll find everything from uniforms to weapons to oral histories.
And spokes. We were nothing but a spoke in that wheel. If you lost a spoke, you put a new one in there.
And there is a restoration project that you can visit in a pavilion across the street.
Behind me is PT-305. It is a patrol torpedo boat that was used in the Mediterranean. After the war, it was used as an oyster boat and is being restored here in the Kushner Restoration Pavilion.
This boat, PT-305, served in the Mediterranean theater during World War II. It was brought back after the surrender of Germany for reconditioning to be used in the Pacific. It was made available to us in June of 2006. It has been being restored here in the Kushner Restoration Pavilion, and it is scheduled to be completed before our expansion is complete in 2015, where it's going to take one more run on Lake Pontchartrain before being put into our permanent exhibits.
I'm Cadet Sergeant Victoria Eberhardt. From restoring PT boats to future expansion, the Road to Victory campaign was meant for carrying on the mission of the National World War II Museum.
Well, the entire expansion of the National World War II Museum is here before you. Of course, here is the original D-Day Museum. It's now all part of the larger campus, the National World War II Museum. Starting in the back, we have the United States Freedom Pavilion, the Boeing Center. That is under construction. It's going to open in January. It's going to be the iconic building here reflecting America's industrial strength. This is under construction as well. It'll open up about a year later at the end of 2013, early 2014. It's the Campaigns of Courage Pavilion.
With the expansion going on, it's still a good time to come in and experience all that is here. Just ask one of those brave young men that served during World War II.
I found a good many, especially the younger people, have no conception of what went on in World War II, and I think this is a good place to remind everybody of that.
And Dr. Mueller also notes the importance of this museum.
There isn't a bigger story in the 20th century than World War II and America's role in securing that victory. Everything that followed since then has been important for the march of democracy across the world, and it changed the whole balance of power. There isn't anything bigger than World War II.